Hey, it's Julie, International Board Certified Lactation Consultant here in Statesboro, Georgia. And this video today, I want to talk about some myths about breastfeeding. These might even be things that you've been thinking, wondering, things you've heard people say. Certainly, I'm going to include some things that I've heard new parents ask me. This is part one. There's a lot of myths out there, and hopefully I will tackle a lot of the things that you have heard or wondered. I think the first one I want to start with, breastfeeding is easy. So I think about breastfeeding is like learning how to ride a bike. And you see somebody who knows how to ride a bike and you're like, well, that looks like the easiest thing in the world. You hop on that bike and what happens? Inevitably, you fall and you run into things and it gets frustrating and you need extra hands and you need training wheels and you are sure you are not ever going to be able to do it. But what do? You keep getting back on that bike and you keep practicing, and pretty soon it is the easiest thing in the world. That is how I think about breastfeeding. It's a natural process in that babies love to suck and we make milk. Not natural like a heartbeat. Beyond that, there's that process that you need to go through that all new moms and babies go through. Practice, patience, determination. Those things are so vital to learning how to breastfeed, just like learning to ride that bike. And then it does become the most easiest, convenient thing in the world. Another thing is a lot of moms worry and hear about nipple pain. So nipple discomfort, nipple pain, nipple damage, cracking, bleeding, all kinds of terrible sounding things that make you think, why would anybody ever breastfeed? And nipples do get tough as nails. I'm not sure why they can't be on day one, but they will get tough as nails. What's really vital though is a good latch. And that's something that's really hard to practice before your baby is born, but really important to work on in those early days. So inevitably, a little tenderness is normal. Nipples are just not used to all that attention typically. So little tenderness is normal. Sometimes a little redness is normal. Most important thing to work on is a deep latch. So we don't want babies chewing on the tip of the nipple because that will get very sore. A deep latch puts the nipple much farther back in your baby's mouth, and so their little gums are hitting more of the areola than just the nipple. That's pretty imperative. There's a video that I actually referenced and linked in another video that I'm going to put on the end of this one as well, because it does discuss different positions, techniques, ways to get a good deep latch that really will make a difference for your nipples that will get tough as nails in no time. Things we need to do to prepare our nipples. There's really nothing. It used to be back in the day, they would say, oh, you need to toughen up your nipples with a washcloth. You need to rub your nipples. You need to pull your nipples. All kinds of really painful sounding things that really were not found to be effective. There's nothing you need to do to prepare your nipples for breastfeeding. You don't need to wash them before you breastfeed. There's nothing you need to do. Just let them be. Now, learning how to hand express is a great skill. I'll also talk about that in another video. Definitely check it out. Another one, some moms wonder if they have to have a special diet. Are there any foods that they have to avoid when they're breastfeeding? And you will hear this all the time. Another thing that makes breastfeeding not seem all that enticing. You should avoid beans, broccoli, onions, garlic, spicy food. Someone asked me the other day about chocolate, and no, there's really nothing inherently that you have to avoid when you're breastfeeding. Your milk will take on the flavors of the foods you eat. It makes the milk interesting. A lot of babies transition to table food easier when they're breastfed because they're already used to those flavors and those things that your family naturally eats. Beans, broccoli, onions, they don't even think that what makes us gassy gets through to the milk. So if you like those things, eat them. And then if there's something your baby seems a little fussy afterwards or uncomfortable, then maybe lay off of it. Eat what you like. Enjoy your food. Your baby will too. Part 2 coming up.